So we got it all finished, put together, and I am absolutely loving this end result. It is unbelievable. Look at this. All right, guys, welcome to day one of Mud Tire Media. I'm Dan.
I'm Jonathan.
And this is our shop.
So we are working on basically doing a 1-ton swap on my 2014 JK. I went with a 14 bolt in the rear out of gas, burner 2500. I believe I got it out of a 2001. And in the front, we went with the 05 Plus Dana 60.
But to make sure everybody has a good idea, why did you go with a 14 bolt instead of just going with the forged Sterling that comes with the Ford?
Convenience for the fact of not smacking the gas tank. So passenger side of the JK, there's that massive gas tank. Yes, I know everyone. I can yank it out, put a fuel cell, do all that, but there's money involved.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
When you're spending the money to do a 1-ton swap, it gets pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first step is shaving thing off that 14 bolt, which is not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
We've got a Motobilt truss that's going to go on there.
Yes.
We're going to get that burned in. I got the Motobilt diff covers. They call it a 13 bolt. Basically, that bottom bolt's missing, and you shave it down. So we'll show you how we do that.
Yeah, I'm excited to really do this one. Motobilt stuff, I don't know if you've noticed, I am a bit of a connoisseur for Motobilt. I've used many different brands, a lot of fabrication.
What does the shirt say?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. It's not built unless it's Motobilt, you know? All right, well, we're going to get in the shop. We're going to get to it, get to work. You're going to get to see everything that has to be done to build your axles. So follow with us. Make sure to not miss any episodes. We are going to be breaking this up as we go along. It's going to be worth subscribing and watching. Come with me right now. We're going to be working on a 14 bolt today. And our main goal right now, we're just going to drill a hole in this casing, and we're going to get ready for an ARB locker to be dropped in. We've been working on it. We've already stripped it of everything that's on the axle tubes. And now our job, before we start building up the truss on top, we need to tap this casing in the right position so that we can run the locker line out of the truss and into the body. So the first thing we need to do is we need to put our truss back together on our housing. We're going to make sure that we're drilling in the correct location because this Motobilt truss actually has a specific location for you to tap into the housing to pass through.
There we go.
Mine's together.
And we're good on this side.
All right. And it lets you pass through your hose for your ARB. And that's going to be right here. This is your vent tube. All right, so we're going to check this. Looks great. I'm going to use this to kind of make sure that I'm level with the truss. There we go, like so. We are centered in the truss. We're on our mark. There we go. Oh, that's good. Okay, I'll go ahead and finish that one out actually. Okay.
Take the truss off?
Yeah, we can go ahead and pull this back off. Yeah, or we can just take it one piece, all right.
I got it.
All right. Okay, so we're starting a pilot hole, just a small starting, so we don't walk around. It's not taking that too much off at one time. Getting a little stuck there. All right. For ARB and for Yukon, you use a 7/16 bit, and that's what you're going to use to make your hole. We're going to go up one more step before we go to the 7/16. We're going to keep walking it up a little larger so we're not taking off too much material too quickly. Just makes a clean hole, because after we're done drilling this out, we're going to need to tap it. so now we're just gonna tap one of these holes. It's fairly simple. Take your time, go slow, not too much pressure. Keep it straight while you're cutting. I like to run it back and forth as we're going. And this just makes sure we clean our threads, we start fresh, pushes all the material into those grooves, drops it out, lets the oil drop in. Suck some of that oil in there. This is our adapter piece that's going to go into the case. Let's see. Yeah, threads beautifully. No force at all trying to get that in and out. So that's what you want. If you start to thread this in and it feels tight and you're having to really work it to go in there, odds are you didn't cut those threads deep enough. You have a long piece to chase your threads with. That's what cuts this. You can't just start cutting and once it clears the casing, you stop. No, you actually have to go down pretty deep on that adapter tool. And what that's doing is slowly expanding the cut of those threads deeper and deeper into your casing. And that's how you get that nice, smooth thread to go in and out. Don't sit there and try to force this small little piece through that casing. You're just going to bind it and probably mash up the threads that you just put in there.
Uh-oh, here comes the truss.
All right, set this puppy on. Lose a finger or two in the process, it'll be fun.
Well, it's not like they grooved it to just perfectly fit.
You know, that's the beautiful thing about it. Motobilt's truss kit really is a perfect fit, and this is not set in yet, so don't take that for the final product. Let me get this thing. I'm probably gonna have to lift up on one side.
I'm gonna set this up over here and help you out.
Yep, we're in.
All right.
Okay, so this is a Motobilt truss. I mean, look how precise everything is. Yeah, you don't have to worry about shaving the top fins. It conforms perfectly to them. There is no shaving, getting it all right. No, this is exactly how it came. We didn't have to modify at all. The cut is perfect. Pop a weld washer inside. Yeah, try to make sure that these have a good 90 degrees so that when you go to actually secure anything onto here that you're not looking caddied in a corner. So, because it's easy to throw these in and not even realize that it's off-centered until you bolted everything up, and then it looks just out of place, crazy, cocked to the side. What we're doing at this point is we're attaching the pinion support and we're bolting it onto the main truss. The reason we're doing this is so that after everything is welded together, we know that all the bolt holes are going to line up naturally without having to modify, widen. It all just goes together easily. All right, so we've got our truss in place, so Now we're going to start tack welding it on. We're going to go ahead and we're tack welding down the tubes. We're going to get all this pieced together so that when we start actually burning in our longer beads, we're not going to have more distortion and torquing out of position. So now that our truss is in place, we can start assembling the rest of the pieces. This is our rear track bar mount. And a lot of people are worried about building their own axles because of placement of all your control arms, things like that. You don't really have to worry so much about that with these kits. Like I said, everything is keyed. It drops into specific locations. So there's not a lot that you have to do other than follow, most of them come with instructions, follow the instructions and just put it where it belongs. But with just a little bit of work, it drops into its keyways and you can get it installed. Once it's in the keyway, you just pop a weld on it, keep it in place, and then move on. Now we've thrown a few more tack welds back in this front top plate, and now we can go ahead and start putting in our brackets for our track bar, lower control arm. We're eventually going to put a bracket up here for our upper control arm, but now we can finally start burning some things in. And since he's going 3-link, we're still having to use a track bar on the back. If we were going like a triangulated 4-link, you wouldn't need this piece. You could actually just use your 2 upper links and it will actually self-center the rear axle. So I just finished welding in the last of the truss and the lower control arm links. Now it's going to be time to start welding up the pinion guard. This can actually be done off of the truss on the bench, so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to set it up on my welding table and knock it out real quick. So we got it all finished, put together, and I am absolutely loving this end result. It is unbelievable. Look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so let's talk about this. First video is done. We've completed all of the welding that needed to be done for now.
Most of the welding.
Yeah, we do still need to roll the 14 bolt under the Jeep.
Yep.
Because we do have special circumstances with his. He is on a 3-link, so we're not using the factory upper control arms, nor are we going to use the factory placement for the shock mounts or the end-link mounts for the rear sway bar.
Yeah, so it's just like, it's one of those we got to be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do anything normal. So
yeah,
it's kind of normal.
It's not a necessary part for most Jeeps, but for what you want and what you've already got, we are going to make some modifications, which hopefully will work out well.
Yeah.
But that's something that we can't do until we throw his Jeep on the lift and we roll the rear axle out, set the new one in, and then we're going to pull our measurements, because we want everything to be exact. I don't want to have to throw in bump stop and limit travel.
Yep.
Where we could have taken the time to make a few extra measurements and gotten a few more inches of flex. It's worth the time, I think.
I mean, I don't want to buy new shocks.
Yeah.
Those things are expensive.
Yeah.
I have quality ones now. So that's a big piece of it. And then 2, I never want to sacrifice clearance.
No.
I mean, at the end of the day, That's the name of the game. You don't want to get hung up on a rock, everything else. So after we get everything fit in like it should, get the anti-squat where it needs to be, we get the shock travel where it needs to be.
Yes.
Then let's chop that stuff off and throw some skids under it. We'll be good to go. We shaved a little bit off the bottom of the housing and, put that extra, inch and a half that we may get on the controller mount, and it'll be everything.
Yeah. So today's video's done. We've got all of our welding done. The Motobilt truss went on spectacular, and it just, everything looks so good. This is the end of the first video. The second one's going to be coming out. We're getting more in depth with the 14 bolt, so look for that one to come out really soon. All right? Thank you for watching.
Appreciate it, guys.
We'll see you in the next video.